Welcome to the jute coaster tutorial. Well, in your kit you'll find that you have everything to make 4 coasters of the multicoloured variety. This one's actually got a double ring of green on it, as it was a bit of a test case, but you're going to be making 4 coasters. I'll show you how to make one of them because they're all done in exactly the same way. They are really quite practical because they're nice and soft, and when you put a cup on them they don't fall off, which is good, and it also absorbs fluids and things. A nice thing to make for yourself or also as a gift, and once you've got the knack of doing it, well, you could make a whole set of them for family, friends and family. So we'll get underway. I've actually chosen some different colours so that they're a bit easier to see on the screen whilst we're making them. So first of all, we take the thick twine, chunky twine. All the twine comes from a company called Nutscene in Forfar in Scotland, and they make some beautiful colours, lovely contrasting colours. So today we're going to have a green base and an orange border, and then we've just got the natural twine in the middle. As I say, it's hopefully it'll stand out quite well in the video so that you can see the different stitches. So I've already cut a 1 metre length of the chunky twine, and you won't need the 1 metre, the full metre, because it should be more than enough, but it's a bit longer than you would need because everybody has a slightly different tension when they're making coasters, when they're doing the stitching and sewing and winding. So it's just to make sure you've got plenty. So if you cut a 1 metre length to begin with, and then we've also got the coloured twine here. So what I normally do is, it's not very scientific, it's not measured in any way. I just usually take 3 arm lengths of string and start from there. If you want to, for the first one, you could do less than that. It just means that you don't have to change string so much, you don't have to join on so many times if you have a longer length. So have a go at it and see how you go on. So we'll take I've chosen a green needle, which doesn't possibly help so that you can see me threading it. But the best way to thread the fine string through is if you bend it over, so you've got a bit of a bend in it there, and then thread it through oops, not doing that very well. Thread it through the eye of the needle, she says, and it didn't work. And it goes through quite easily, you see there. So if you pull that through and pull it to sort of roughly the middle of that piece of green string. Now you're going to take your piece of chunky twine, I might just trim a bit off the end just to kind of neaten it up a wee bit. Take the fibres off the end, and now you're going to find one of the ends of the finer green string. So you're going to place them together like that. You can see that in there. So I've got the end of the chunky one there and the end of the fine one there. So you're now going to hold on to the chunky one with both fingers, and you're going to start to wind this thin string around the thick string. So it'll go to the end of the as far to the end of the chunky one as you can go, and then firmly wind around. You want to do quite a good tension on this first wind. It's just so that you get a firm start on it. So we're going to go to the end of the green one, so we've completely covered it, as you can see. Now we're looking to bend this round, so probably around about there, that sort of length. So measurement wise, that is approximately 3 centimetres. so 3 centimetres from the end, and then that allows you to make that nice curve there. Now you're not wanting to make a circle, you want to make it that shape, because what we're going to do is wind that string over the top there to join it together. So if I do a wind round there, again trying to keep it as firm as possible at this stage, and another one round there. It's kind of slipped off, but I'm just going to do another one to cover it. So hold that firmly there, and then you're going to take your needle, remember to hold on, keep holding on to everything, and pass the needle through the centre hole that we created there. So I'll just pull that through and pull the whole string through. And now we can start to relax a bit because we've secured it. So don't worry too much about things showing, because once we get underway it'll become covered up and move things around. So if you can see, that's a stitch there that we've made, and we can't see it on this side yet because we haven't carried on. So I'll just move that round. Now these instructions are for people who are right-handed. I can't do it left-handed, unfortunately. I wish I could be able to show you how to do it left-handed. Perhaps if you watch it upside down, I'm not sure. But it's a right-handed instruction, so everything that I say is for right-handed people. If you're ambidextrous, you might be quite good at it, but left-handed people maybe need to swap it around and do it the opposite way. So we've got our secure centre here, and now I'm going to take the string and the thin string, and I'm going to begin to wrap again. Now notice that I have got the chunky string in my left hand and I have got the green string in my right hand, and this is the way you'll want to continue to wrap, because if you do it the opposite way around you'll end up with the string all getting tangled round each other, and it's a bit of a pain. I did it to begin with and I realised my mistake because it just was a pain in the neck. So this is the way to do it. So if you keep your keep them in those hands, and you're looking to do six wraps round. So I've done 3 there, so that was 3, 4, 5, 6, and again just make sure you're holding on, and you're going to take your needle again and you're going to pass it through the centre, again through the centre hole that we had. So let's pull that through. And then we continue on doing the same thing. So again, 6 round, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you kind of nudge them along so they're sort of neat there. And then you're going to put this 6th one through. It's stuck. That's what happens when you've got lots of string. So there you can see it's starting to form a bit of a circular shape, and we've got the 2 stitches there and the 2 stitches there. And there is sort of a right side and a wrong side to the coaster, but it actually doesn't really matter, to be honest, because they both look fine. This is this side is, I suppose, could be the right side or the wrong side. That's actually, when I was making it, this is the side that was facing me, so it's sort of slightly less defined, and this is the side that was away from me, which is, you can see it's got more defined pattern there. So, but I wouldn't worry too much about it because they're reversible really. So if you happen to get a bad stain on them, you can just flip them over and use the other side. But they should clean up quite well as well, because the string's pretty sturdy. So back to our pattern. So we're going to, let's grab the string there, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, 6, through the centre. Pull that tight. So you can sort of see it there building up. So we just follow it again. 1, 6. Now I'm going to take you to first round so you can see what we do as we get past the first round. So do a little 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. That's the needle there. So we're now getting to the point where we are about to do our second row. So if you can see, I'll put a little bit closer to the camera, we've got the centre circle here. I'll use the needle, that'll be easier. Centre circle here, and then we've got the outside ring there. So now that we've got to this point where our lead in was, we're now coming to our second row, so we're going to be using this section here as opposed to the centre for the stitches. So you just go back out to there and wrap your 6 stitches, 6 rounds. I forgot to count, no, 2, 4, 6. So, and then you want to take the needle and move your needle along, and you're going to be putting your stitch in this section here. So not where we were going through the middle, but the next one out. So you see it's gone in there, and you can, if I turn it around that side, let's get it moved around there, you can see the stitches there. So we'll go out and we'll do 2, 3, 4, 6. We'll keep going. So that's you now into your second row. It's starting to come a bit loose, the weave of the string, but you can just twist it. It comes unloose a bit like that as you're moving it, but you can just twist it round and then it puts it back into shape again. So I'm going to continue doing this until we do the first join on the video. Do it along with me, or fast forward if you've got the technique, or go back to the beginning and see how we started. I'll go through here again, and then you've got 1 stitch up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take your needle. Now if you can make it out, this stitch here, which is on the previous row, when you get to an outside row and you're going to do it, I'd recommend that you do go ahead of this one and not behind, so that it's kind of going in the same direction. Otherwise it'll start going backwards rather than sort of slightly forwards or straight. So if you just keep an eye for that when you get, it might be slightly different on yours, but you will have occasions where your stitches are like that. So as you see, I've just gone slightly ahead of that. I think my finger's away. I've just gone slightly ahead. So I'll do 3, 4, 5, 6. Through the middle again. And 2, 3, 5, 6. Through here. Oops. So we're now getting into our third row. So we've got 1, 2 there, and this will go into the third. Once you've got the knack and you've got the pattern in your head and you're not so concentrating so much to try and get it right, it's really very relaxing doing this, quite sort of therapeutic really. It's kind of keeps your hands occupied and your mind, but not so much that you're overloading it. I guess by the time you get to the second coaster you'll be feeling a bit more relaxed about it. So again, we've got the big stitch over there. And 6 stitches, 6 rounds or stitches or whatever you want to call them. It's becoming a bit loose again, so I'll just give it a bit of a twist. Much to lose its definition. So I'm going to go round again. I think that was 6. Lost count. 2. Yeah. You can count it if you are up close to it. You can make it out. If you lose count. You can always unwrap it and start again if you've forgotten. 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's 5. 6. You can kind of tell by looking at it, the distance between. Now I want to finish this piece here because that won't be enough to do another lot of 6 stitches. So we're going to take another piece of the green, 2, 3, cut it. I'd recommend threading it first so that you're ready to go without having to hold on to bits. So again, just the same way as we did before, we're forming that sort of bend in it and passing it through the middle of the eye of the needle and then pulling it all the way through. So, where to go? Ooh. Now this section we're going to join this bit on, so I would suggest to trim this tail before you start. So I would go for about roughly 5 centimeters from here to here, because what you want to do is you want to be able to bend it round there and then have an end tail here, you can see, so that makes it approximately 5 centimetres long. So trim that there, and you can see the length that I've got there. So you're going to bend that round there, and it's kind of like an L shape really. You're going to hold it in there, hold it securely there, and then you're going to take the new piece of string, and you're going to put that alongside, possibly on the other side of the chunky piece, and then get all three pieces of string, hold them firmly between your finger and thumb, and then take your new piece of string. I've got a big length over here. Take your new piece and go to the back and wrap it round. So you're going to go again, you're going to do 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a bit bulky because you've got a lot of string there, but you really don't notice it once the whole thing's finished. And then you're going to want to secure that, remember to hold tightly onto everything. You're going to secure that with your stitch here. Oops. Now the reason I do quite a long length of string is just so that you don't have to keep swapping over lengths of string all the time. I'll have 3 changes of string in this coaster. It's up to you. It's easy to do it either way. I just prefer to do it. I'm a bit lazy. I prefer to do it the longer length. So we've put that stitch there, and that's secured it, so we're okay. We can move it around now because it's fixed. But we're going to continue to wrap all the string around these ends here. So again, we're taking it out to here, and we're going to wrap 6 times. Oops. 5, 6. Just needle gone. So in this occasion, I'm near this this stitch, this one here, but I think I'm actually going to. Again, as I said before, I think I'm near enough to take it to the front of it, so that it got a better pattern. And you see it's sort of a better shape there that comes out. So we've not quite covered all the ends, we're nearly there. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that was 7, can't count. 2, 6. And stitch it in. So we're going to carry on with this pattern, these 6 stitches and a large stitch. And you see if I turn it over, it's slightly more defined on that side than it is on that side. We'll carry on with this until we've done the full number of rounds. So if I show you on one of these completed ones, I've got the centre section here. I'll do it that way around. Hang on. Yeah, I've got the centre section here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're having 4 rounds, and then we join on the coloured round on the outside. So there's on the 5th one. In your kit you have a paper pattern to help guide you as to what you should do. So you can put your coaster on there. So I put that coaster on there. You see that it fills it. And it's at this stage here that we're looking to change colour. So if I put this one on, the one that we're underway with, oops, and I put it in the centre, you can see that we've still got another 3rd one to go, because we've got 3 here. sorry, a third one, a fourth one. Got 3 here, and if I continue on like this, that'll give us the fourth one, and then we're looking to change to the new colour. So what I'll do is I'll just skip this part of the video so you're not watching me doing this, because you should have the pattern hopefully in your head now, and you'll join me again when we get to this section here, this part here. So I'll just continue on doing this pattern until we get to row 5. But you're doing 4 rows. 5th row, sorry, that might have been confusing. 5th row is this external row, 4 rows here, exactly the same as we've done here. Right, we've now completed, or I have now completed, I should say. Hopefully you have too. Your four rows of stitching. So you've got to, from the centre here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're looking to finish where the tail starts to come away from the circle. So in actual fact, I've probably gone slightly too far in this case. If you see, it comes across from here, so it's kind of halfway between the two. So I could have stopped there, or I could have stopped where I've finished. Sorry, I've got that string across there, you don't really see that properly. I've got the tail coming round here, so you're looking to finish across from there. So it's kind of like halfway between the two, so that's a good place to stop. If I place it over my finished coaster, you'll see that it's kind of fits in with it. I think this one's slightly tighter tension than the other one, and if I put it on my template, you'll see template here, and you're looking to put it this way around. So if I fit it in the middle there, and I've got that tail coming off there where the gap is, so we're ready to go on to the new colour now. So if you can get your coaster to fit in this hole, this space, within the lines, then you should be about the right size. Don't worry too much if it's slightly bigger or slightly smaller. As long as you've got the 4 rows here, you should end up roughly the same size at the end. So there we are. It would, if you continued on, it would go like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to change colour now. So we're going to join the new colour on exactly as we did with the old, the green. So I'm going to cut this here and leave the tail approximately 5 centimetres. Then I'm going to take the needle out. I will keep this bit of string for the next coaster. No point in wasting it. Nice biodegradable jute twine. So you'll find that there's bits in it. You get extra bits because it's got natural fibre. So I've got orange here again to kind of show the texture and colour. Although it does look quite nice against the green. Maybe not my first choice, but it does. It should show up quite well in the video. So we've got again. I'll take 2 arm lengths for this. Should be adequate to finish it off. You have plenty string, so if you do have to join on, or you know, if your arms are shorter than mine, you'll be okay. So I'm going to go into, that's probably a better colour to show you how about the thread and the needle. So you're going to loop it round just as you did before, and feed it through the centre and pull it through. Pull it through to roughly to the middle. Find the end, and you're going to, as you did before, fold that over there. And you've got your tail, oops, right in the picture so you can see it properly. So I folded that round like that, and you can see it's round the back there. I'll just tighten it up a bit and hold it with my finger. I'm going to place this orange piece here and I'm going to put it around the back, and it's kind of having a bit of faith and hoping that it works, because in a way you think, oh my goodness, how's the heck this going to stay together, but it does. So just be brave and go for it. So again, you're going to do your 6 stitches, 3, 4, 6, and do your stitch to hold secure. And we'll definitely see the pattern with this. You can see the outside stitch forming there. So then we'll go another 6. So we're going to do one round, one board. Oops, where's the needle gone? Disappeared. Board around, and then I'll show you how to finish it off. So in this case, the stitch on the inside is actually quite a bit farther forward. When I was saying about going in front, in this case I would go behind, so that it's a bit of a straighter orange stitch. If I went in front of it, it would be sort of at that angle, whereas like that, it's straighter. You can see it there. So I'm just about finished covering those ends. I think the orange is actually easier to see the colour in. I think the green's more of a kind of a, they're all garden twines, but I think it's slightly different, maybe a slightly different weave. Don't know, not sure. They're all very nice anyway. I like all the colours. So I'm doing 4, 5, 6. Oh, can I count? Yes, I can. Don't know how I can fail to count to 6, but I seem to manage it. Oops. That's the problem with having it long, isn't it? It gets tangled. And then you can see on the other side the wee gap there. You'll be able to do that too if it's sort of showing a bit. You can, as you can see, you can move them. They do get moved about, you know, as you're trying to put the stitches through and things, but you can then redistribute them and they'll be fine. They'll fill in, which is good. It's very forgiving that way. And just carry on the video with doing this outside edge, and if you want to do it along with me, that's great, or switch it off or fast forward. So that's 6. Not quite as good as doing it in a craft room where we can all sit and have a chat, but at least you can see what's happening and follow it along and stop and start when you want to. 3, 4, 6. Oops, fringe got in. I'm getting tangled up with my other bit now. So carry on. haven't done it in these colours before. I actually think I quite like it after saying I wasn't so keen on it. Nice and colourful. Oops, twist round again. I was just thinking the beauty of filming like this where I'm just showing you my hands is I don't even have to do my hair or anything. Once you've done your first one, I'm sure you'll have got the pattern sort of down pat. When you go to start again, you might start your next coaster, your number 2, you might need to view the video again just to remember how you started it, because you think, what did I do again? So it might be, you've always got the video to go back and rewind it again if you need to. So we're nearly there. Another 2 or 3 loads. Is that 5? Is that 5? Yep. Oh, I just need to pull my needle along. And you'll see it's now, I'll leave that in there, it's now about the same size as my template. The template is slightly bigger, not much in it, but I guess if I drew around it, that's where the line would be. So we're on track. Just twirl that around because it's getting a bit loose. You just twist it there, and it'll go back into shape. So we're doing another 6 stitches, 2, 4, 6. And you see my 6th one has taken me pretty much to where we started. Now don't be worried, too worried if yours doesn't end quite there. I'll just put my stitch in and I'll show you how we finish it off. It's not the end of the world if you've got another couple of stitches on the end, but you want to try and follow the pattern as much as you can. So that's us on our last set of stitches round. So we're now going to finish the coaster off. So what I'd suggest you do, I'm just going to twist another way of doing it is lifting it up and letting it twirl round. And it should go back into shape again. So that's a good way of doing it too. And so I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to nip off this end. So remember at the beginning I was saying that you'll not need the metre, so we've got this extra bit here. Yours might be shorter or longer than mine, but you should hopefully have plenty to have finished off. So you're going to nip this off and you're going to leave probably, if I hold it up to the screen, about that much. It's only really about 1 centimetre, not much more than that. And if you can, try and cut it on the angle like I'm doing here, so that you're going to be stitching over the top of it. So you need a sort of sharpish pair of scissors to do it, to get a nice neat cut. Now we're going to take the string and we're going to sew over the top of this. So put that around the back there, and you're looking to, I'd say probably put it in front, in this case put it in front of this green one, so we've got the green one keeping the pattern. If you do it and you think, oh, that doesn't look right, you can always go back and start again and redo. You can unpick it, if you see what I mean. So it's always worth looking at the back as well, just sort of making sure that you're keeping tidy on both sides. So you see we're building up some stitches here, covering up chunky string underneath. It's making progress. Oops. So probably only need another maybe one stitch after that. So you see nearly, it's this wee bit showing here now. So I'll cover that over and put that stitch through. You see I've pulled it off there, so I'm tempted to undo that now. I'll show you what I mean by redoing it if you're not happy with how you've covered it. So I'm kind of pulling it a bit tighter so that I can cover that over. That's better. So you can see it's got a kind of a, well, sort of slightly different at the end. That one there, and it will be slightly thicker. You can't do it any other way because it goes in rounds, so you can't have it like a, just ends like that. So then when we finish off, this is the hardest bit in some ways. It's hard on the fingers, but it's worth doing a good job of it to finish it off properly. So we're going to get the needle and we're going to pass it back through. Now I'm regretting having pulled them so tight. Back through and under these last stitches, finishing stitches that you did there. So we get back to, I don't know if you can see, I'm pulling it out, now pulling it out through where I started. Got that through there like that. So I'm going to push that through. Don't be afraid to be too rough with it because it's pretty robust. It's quite tough to get it back there sometimes. Push it that way, so I've just leaned on the end of it. It's not always as hard as this. There we go. Right, you see that I've kind of moved the things around up here in my excitement here, but we can sort that out once we've cut it off. So we then get the scissors and you're just going to nip it off. You see it's come out there, so we're just going to nip it off there. Be careful not to obviously cut anything underneath it, but you'll see that it's stuck, it's in between. It's that bit in there, just there. So now I can move my bits of orange around and it's all sorted. And that is your first coaster. So if I put it on the That's the wrong way around. I'll go that way. No, that one was right the first time. And there you are, it fits in the shape. And that's you finished your first one. So I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. If you, as I say, when you go to make your second and third and fourth, you may want to revisit sections of it to remember how to do it, maybe particularly the start and the joining on. But that is how you make a string coaster. So thank you very much for watching the video, and I hope to see you again in another video tutorial. Please have a look at the website and see if there's anything else you might be interested in. Thanks again. Bye.